and student athletes Lacey Eden and Cassie Hall. We'll begin with opening comments from Coach, and then we'll open up questions to the media. Media, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic passed to you. When you receive the mic, please introduce yourself before asking your question. After the student athlete segment, we'll dismiss student athletes and then open it up for questions with head coach. Coach, your opening comments.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. So normally we travel and then we play the following day, so it's nice to come in a day early, get situated, get organized. It's like when you go to a golf tournament, if you get a round in before you actually start the tournament, you get used to things and get an understanding. The weather's a little nicer here than it was in Madison when we left. So looking forward to the opportunity for our game tomorrow against Penn State, and hopefully the place is rocking and full, and I think the people will get enjoyed. Two good games tomorrow afternoon, then our game tomorrow night. So see some really good quality women's hockey. So we look forward to the opportunity in playing.
Members of the media, questions for student athletes.
Mark Stewart, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Lacey and Cassie. I just want to get your thoughts on, last year you guys played, at Minnesota's arena. This year you're going to be playing Penn State on their home ice. What's that experience like? What does that do for you, if anything, as a player?
I mean, anytime you get to play a team on their home ice, the crowd is going to be just a little bit more into it. They're going to have a lot of people backing them up, but so do we. And it's just emphasizing our game and playing with that edge, getting the crowd into it, but really just focusing on us and doing what we need to do to come out with the win.
Yeah, I mean, playing the host team back-to-back years, it's definitely tough, but something we embrace. Like, our fans, they travel so well, so we know we'll have them behind us. So we just need to come out, play our game, and hopefully we can be successful.
Anything you remember about that and how that first game maybe surprised you guys and then came back the next day to change things a little bit?
Right. We know Penn State's a physical team, and they're going to give it everything they have, especially in this tournament. But, yeah, I played here 4 years ago, and they kind of got that jump on us right away in the first game of the season. So we were able to come back the next night and play our style game, but that's something that we're focused on doing right away. I mean, we know it's a little bit smaller rink than we play at in Levon, but I think it's really just about us and playing as a team, playing with each other. If we are playing our best hockey, I'm confident in our team all the way through.
Cassie, I wonder if you can give us some thoughts on what it's like coming into somebody else's arena. I mean, you know where you are here, right? You know everything playing Penn State. Is that more of a challenge, or is that more of just, you're here to play whatever team's in front of you?
Yeah, definitely. We just come into it thinking we're playing whatever team's on the other side, not really too worried about where we are or what state. It's all kind of the same to us. But talking about the fans, we know they'll have their fans, but I'm confident in our fans. They travel so well, and we're so thankful for that. So they come out and support us no matter where we are. So pretty confident in what we can do tomorrow night.
Lacey, you said, if we're playing our best hockey, what are you guys doing to make sure, what's the conversation to make sure that you're coming out and doing that tomorrow?
I think it starts from the opening face-off, just being dialed, being present, being there in the moment. Everything that's an external factor kind of just washes away when that puck drops. And if we can kind of set the tone right away, be vocal, communicating, making plays, and playing our style of fast hockey, I'm confident that we're going to play our best hockey.
Cassie, Kendrick Summers, Patrick Breakaway. Cassie, you obviously played a big role in this team last year, but the way you jumped into this role this year, does it bring you any added pressure or intensity coming into this weekend with the way you and, I mean, your entire line, your wingers have elevated your play over the last month?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of a confidence thing. It brings confidence to me knowing that I have, like, my teammates, coaches, they trust me to fill this role. So I think it just boosts my confidence, and I'm willing to accept whatever role I'm given. So especially this year, having a bigger role on this team, it's something I'm proud of and can embrace. So just ready to be confident tomorrow and can be successful.
Okay, Channel 3, Wisconsin. What has been the biggest growth that you've experienced to bring you this far this year?
I like that question. So at the beginning of the year, I had the opportunity to listen to Coach speak at like a symposium, and he talked about like the 4 stages: forming, norming, storming, and then performing. And through every season, like I looked back and was like, yeah, we've really hit every single one of those phases, like where you're all excited at the beginning of the year, and then maybe something goes wrong, and then you have to figure that out and put it back together, and then that leads you to be able to perform at your highest level. And I think we've, as a team, have kind of hit all of those points, and now we're just in that upwards trend and able to just perform where everything's kind of like clockwork now, like we're fitting, meshing well, and I think we have kind of hit that peak where we are going trending upwards and right at the right time.
Kendrick Summers, Patrick Breakaway. Lacey, you've shared the ice a little bit with Tessa over the last couple of years here. What makes her the impressive player that she is from your perspective?
She's a competitor. She's strong, she's fast, and she's willing to do what it takes to win, and she kind of has her team on her back with that. So we know her number going into this game, and Penn State has had a fantastic season. They've consistently been at the top of the AHA, so they're going to be playing really good hockey, and a lot of that is going to be driven from her. So she's somebody who, like, every time she's on the ice, I'll know where she is. But other than that, I think we can compete, and we have the depth to win this game.
I wonder for both of you, how many friends and family you have making the trip? I know it's a little closer than Frozen Four's happened in the past for you, Lacey, but what's the count at?
I think I submitted like 24 ticket requests. I was asking everybody for extra tickets, so I think I'll have a little section of fans.
I just got 5. It's my family.
Lacey and Cassie, thank you for your time today. You can exit the door on your left.
Thank you.
Hold the bus for me too.
Hold the one second. Oh, he did raise his hand.
Oh.
1 second. Wait till we have to give us Justin.
Mark Stewart, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Just want to get your thoughts on, Tessa Janicki, and, maybe what you think are some of the top challenges, she presents you as an opponent.
Well, yeah, like Lacey had mentioned, I mean, she's an elite player. She's had a wonderful career here. She got to experience the same things some of our players got to experience by playing the Olympics, coming back with a gold medal. And, so when she's on the ice, you have to be aware, you have to take notice. for us, we've been in that situation a number of times. Of, when you play Minnesota, you're talking about Abby Murphy. When you're playing Ohio State, you got 2 or 3 kids that stick out really fast that you have to be aware of when they're on the ice. So hopefully some of the things that we've gone through, we've grown and we've developed, and as we get ready for tomorrow's game, it's more about what we do than what Penn State does at this time of year. I mean, if you can dial things in, keep the distractions outside the locker room, and when you get on the ice, really dial in and play up to your capabilities and play free. You have a chance to play up to your potential, and if we do that, then we should be comfortable with where we're at and who we're playing against.
Mark, I wonder what your thoughts are on being in another team's building. I mean, you see it everywhere. You're at Penn State. Does this feel like a road game, or do you feel like, are you treating it in that way, or how do you guys, I guess, talk about those kind of things?
Yeah, you had mentioned, we had been here, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and, that experience was totally different. It was the first time we came down. It was September. I mean, the weather was gorgeous. It was first game of the year. So, this is more about, you're in the Frozen Four. I mean, it's tough to get here. There's a lot of challenges for everybody, and, we got 4 teams that have survived all of their, adversity and things that they've gone through to get to this point. So, whether it's Penn State or whether it's in Tampa Bay or whether it's in Phoenix or Vegas or Duluth or Minnesota, you're dialed in on the game. And so you're focused in on the game and, what Penn State, what are their strengths, what are some things maybe you can take advantage of. Last year up, playing Minnesota in their building, with a full house and a lot of Badger fans, a lot of Gopher fans, and if I'm a player, I'm going like, this is a lot of fun. I mean, so I don't think the impact of being at Penn State is big as maybe you want to make it out to be. I mean, it's a factor. I mean, but for us, and I'm sure for Ohio State, for Northeastern, I mean, you're excited to be in this position. If you're fortunate enough to win the game tomorrow, you got 3 more periods and a possibility of being a national championship. So the things that you're focused on and dialed in and the importance of those things are what you have to keep in the forefront. Some of the other things are, really just distractions and things that you don't have to really think about, because you have to go out and play well. If you don't play well, then you're not going to win the hockey game.
Amanda with Penn State on SI. Thank you for the time today. Lacey, you mentioned the 4 stages that you talked about and how they're kind of in that clockwork phase right now. At what point did you see that team reach that mark, and how they've kind of moved through it compared to maybe even last season when you were national champions?
Yeah, I mean, if I've talked about before, and Ohio State's been through it, Minnesota went through it, some other clubs went through it. It was a different year for teams that had players that were playing, on the Olympics and in the Olympics. And so depending on how many players you had that were gone for periods of time, there are challenges, both for the players and for the coaching staff and what you're doing to prep for games. And so, generally what you find after the opening weekend, no different than 4 years ago when we were here at Penn State, you get back and then Monday comes. And so you've played 2 games. And when Monday comes, and it happens every year, kids' attitudes change when you come back to practice on Monday, because we haven't, as coaches, met expectations for those players during that game. So if you worked hard all summer, you feel really good about your game, and then we get to that first game, and she's playing ahead of you. And so now I come back to practice on Monday, and I'm a little pissed off at her because she's playing ahead of me. And so my attitude shifts. So now it becomes about me and what I'm not getting. And so you go into the storming stage, and it happens to every team at different times. The only thing you don't know is when you're going to come out of it. And sometimes it might be a week, sometimes it might be a month, sometimes it might be 5 months, sometimes you may never get out of it. And so you manage that and try to get everybody connected and pushing in the same direction and working together. In the environment we're in now today in college athletics, it's become more challenging, because everybody's about themselves. And so, our motto all year has been, it's not about me. The problem is, until it's about me, then it's a problem. And so, we've had some challenges, no different than other teams and no different than other years. It was just a different year because the experiences that we've had you can't plan for. It's just going to happen. So when kids are gone in September, they're gone in October, November, December, and then they're gone for 4 weeks in the end of January and February, life happens. Monday still comes. Now what are we going to do? And then when it all's said and done, they come back from Milano. They're excited, and now we start the playoffs. And so what are we going to do? Because then that Monday came, and so it's just this process that, we as coaches had to look at, and at some point, the players have to trust what the coaches are doing, and we have to connect, and we have to take things away that might benefit me to serve the players next to me in the locker room. And if we can get connected in that space, when you go on the ice, now you can look like a hockey team, and you can play at a real high level. And some of the things that I saw in our game against Quinnipiac reflects that. So the willingness of the players to not be selfish, to think more about their teammates than themselves, irrelevant of how much they're playing or not playing, and play for the team. And if you get into that space, now you have a chance.
Mark, just wondering your thoughts on, talk, or asked about Tessa, just wondering about Penn State's depth, because one of the reasons they're here is because it's more than Tessa in
Yeah.
the last couple of years. How big of a factor is that, and how much do you have to look down the lines of like how you're matching up, and when you do get last change as the home team, how much of a factor that becomes?
Yeah, I mean, that's all part of, your prep for the game, so you look at footage, you look at games, you look at different scenarios and what they're trying to do against their opponent. The crinkle becomes now we get these TV timeouts, so now you get these breaks, and so that changes the dynamics of, how people, use their personnel. So all that goes into the pot, you stir it around, and then at some point we have to spit things out. And so here comes this line, and, then you're watching in front of you, and you're experiencing what you're seeing, and then do I have to make adjustments? Do I have to make changes? And so, we'll see that tomorrow as we get organized and we get ready. We'll start this group and see how that works out. And so you're playing this game of chess. I make a move, does he counter and make a move, and then he makes a move, and then do we do something? So, but it ultimately comes down to, the kids on the ice, and can we play at the level we're capable of playing? And, we saw a lot of positive things against a real strong defending team in Quinnipiac. The one challenge early on will be the ice dimensions. They're different. There's not much room behind the net. The corners are shallow, which creates a little challenge for teams coming in here. So, that's why we don't sleep well at night, coaches. We're trying to figure all that stuff out, trying to push this button and that button, and oh my God, get this one, and no, that's not the right one. I need to do that one. Yeah. So the fun part is when they drop the puck tomorrow, then we get to play, and then it becomes like, okay, here's what I see, here's what we need to do, and ultimately you have to trust your players, and you get into that space where you come through this storming stage where people start to accept their role. And so whether that's 6 or 8 minutes, so you realize that your 6 or 8 minutes in the game are equally as important than her 15 or 16. And now you take responsibility, because if my 6 or 7 or 8 minutes I don't do real well, that our chances of winning aren't going to be as great. And she has to take equal responsibility. So her 15 or 17 minutes, she's got to do at a real high level. And when you get into that area and that space, then me as a coach, then I get to step back, because now they've trusted what's going on, and the ownership becomes, instead of on the coaches, it becomes on the players and the team. And if you get into that space, powerful things can really happen. So today it's about getting to the practice green, seeing how the greens roll, see what the speed of the ball is, see what the weather's going to be like tomorrow as we get ready to play. Is the wind going to be there? Is it going to be chilly? So got to organize that, because the first round, the first 9 holes, is going to be important. Yes.
Hi. What is something special about this team? Anything that sets them apart from the other years that you see?
I would say some of the things that we've had to go through together as a group, because it's the players, big responsibility to take ownership of it. And so, kids are coming, kids are leaving. We're watching, a bunch of our team play in the Olympics and cheering for them or rooting for them and watching them put gold medals around. Adela's experience was a little different because they got beat early in the quarterfinal game, and so she got done sooner. And then the willingness, for everybody to embrace each other And so instead of being jealous that, you know, you ended up getting a spot that I thought I might have got on the Olympic team and that gold medal, I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. And I look forward to playing together again and trying to do something special to collectively as a group. And so you give the players a lot of credit because there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of team building. When the kids got back, first thing we did was we got everybody together and we took them to the golfing range. And you find out pretty quick who's ever, taken a golf lesson, who's got a natural swing, and who looks like they still have a hockey stick in their hand. So, you try to create these things that people can let their guards down and just be who they are and try to develop a relationship, because part of team unity is that relationship between everybody within your group and with your organization. And as important as your 6 or 8 minutes and your 15 or 18 or 20 minutes or whatever, equally as important are, Mia, who sharpens skates and is our equipment manager, and Justin, our director of ops, and does all the things that the organization needs to do. Our assistant coach, our goalie coach, everybody's got a value, and everybody is important to our organization. If somebody's not doing their job, then as a group, we suffer. So get everybody on the same page, get everybody in the same boat, and let's go in the same direction. Easier said than done.
Let's call for questions for Coach.
Haley Salvian from the Athletic Mark. I know you made the switch back for Layla to play forward in the NCAA regional game. What did you like from that decision, and where can we kind of see Layla in the Frozen Four?
We'll start her at forward tomorrow. And so, the space I'm in and the team I'm coaching, I think, that's best suited for us. And so, and she's played both. I remember like BC a year ago out there, and we had the game pretty much in hand, and so I decided I want to see what she looked like on defense. And so we played her there. This past season we started her out there. We moved her up. She played forward a bunch, and then obviously in the Olympics she was playing defense. And where and who we're playing against, has a factor in that. And so, she'll start at forward. 2 years ago she led the country in goals. 2 years ago at Utica in the World Championships, she's the MVP of the tournament as a forward. So, I've had multiple conversations with her. Just because we line you up in a certain position doesn't mean a lot. Just go out and play the game. And so she's able to do that. We saw her play at a real high level in Milano, and then we've seen her play at a real high level up front for us at different times. And I thought, getting the game against Quinnipiac was important up front to see what she would look like and see what our team looked like. And I thought, like I mentioned before, we played a real strong game against Quinnipiac, and part of that was, with our depth and the number of people we played, and her being up in a position to become a scoring threat helped us in that setting.
Thank you for the time today, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck against Penn State tomorrow.